Hello and welcome to today's video. Over the years, I have made my wife several little snowman figurines. I've made them out of different materials like Warbler, uh, polymer clay, needle felting, and this year I wanted to make her another snowman, but I wanted to make them a little bit different. So I thought I would use the mold that I got from NerdECrafter's Not Another Crap kit and start with sculpting some polymer clay over this. And I might use some different materials in it to make it kind of a mixed media piece, a little more so than what I've done with the other ones. All right, I'll get started right after this. The first thing I need to do is make a new little base figurine using the Nerdy Crafter mold. So I'm just getting the mold ready, putting some rubber bands around it. Then I'll mix up the permastone. So I just measure that out according to the instructions that came with the kit. Pour that into my little collapsible bowl. Then get my water measured out. Pour that in with my powder and mix that up real good. So I thought I'd be fancy and change up my camera angle a little bit, but then I realized that this camera angle kind of blocks what I'm actually doing. But I'm just mixing it up, and then I'll pour it into the mold, and then I'm going to go ahead and let that set for about 45 minutes. Then I'll demold it here. So we're just going to get this guy out. This one turned out really good. I did have a little excess at the top. So I'm just going to take my knife, cut that off, and then I'm going to use my knife to trim down this little seam line. Must not have been completely tight, which is fine. This is really easy just to clean up. The first thing I want to sculpt is some parts for my little snowman. So I'm going to sculpt these and bake them. So I'm going to start with his carrot nose. Get that about the size I want, add some texture with my needle tool. Then I'm going to sculpt out his eyes out of black clay so they're like coal. I'm going to do the eyes, mouth, and 3 buttons to go down his front. Once I'm done sculpting those, I'm going to let those, I'm going to go ahead and bake those according to package instructions, and I'll let those cool down. So you see here, I've got all those parts made. I've got my base for my figurine. And then I have 3 things of Premo Sculpey that I'm going to use for my snow on my snowman. So I've got white translucent, white, and frost white glitter. I did use equal parts on all 3 of these to make my base color for my snowman. So now I'm using the polymer clay or the liquid clay adhesive and attaching the white mixture, and I'm just spreading that over, going over the entire figurine. And I really liked how this kind of looked kind of lumpy. It gives me the look of the snowman. This is him all completely covered, and I'm just going to do some indentions where I'm going to put those coal buttons, again using the clay adhesive on him. And I'm going to take my 3 buttons and push those into place. Once I get those on there, I'm going to go ahead and bake him again according to package instructions. This is actually his first baking session, but the buttons are going to be baked again. Not a problem at all. Let him cool down. Now I'm going to go ahead and sculpt his head. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cover the top with the clay adhesive, and then I'm going to take my white clay mixture, kind of spread it out so I can cover that entire head. And once I get that all covered, I'm going to go ahead and start adding his facial details. So you can see here I've got that done. I'm using my ball tool to do indentions for his eyes. This isn't necessary, but also helps me mark where I want them to be. So it gives me a guideline and where I can put my clay adhesive so it kind of sets in there and it's not just floating on top. And then I can press these in. I'm going to do the same thing for his nose and his mouth. So you see those are all done. Now I thought he looked a little simple, so I added some more clay to bulk up his cheeks, and then I'm going to go ahead and give him some eyebrows. I want him to have a little more of an expression than just the regular, smile that he had with his coal, grin. So now that I've got that all done, I'm going to go ahead and make him a shovel. This was an idea from a friend of mine, so I have all these pre-baked parts in here, so I thought there's got to be something in here I can use to start my shovel. But I've got a lot of faces, wings. There's actually a snowman nose from before I could have used. Got these little rocks that I've made. These are all, stuff I've sculpted in the past and baked up. I have some horns. But I do have these glasses. That's not what I want. Ah, there we go. Some little straight little things I used for like handles that were going to be weapons or something. I don't remember now. I made them years ago. But it'll work for the shovel. So I'm just going to take some silver clay, soften that up. And the first thing I'm going to do is do the scoop part of the shovel. So I'm going to roll that out and cut it up so it's about the right shape and size that I want to use for my snowman shovel. And this mat that I got in the NerdECrafter Crap kit works out really well to kind of give me a guideline to follow. It's got these lines underneath it, and I have wax paper over it so I can kind of follow along and make it how I want. I did add a little more clay to the scoop so I could add the handle, make it a little bit longer, put some liquid clay adhesive in there, push that handle in there. And the only other thing I wanted to do was add the little top of the handle. It kind of loops around so you can, carry it differently, or it can hang on the pegs at Ace Hardware. I don't know. But so I'm just softening that up, getting that shaped out. And I'm going to go ahead and attach that the same way I did the other. I actually did not use clay adhesive on this. I just kind of forgot, but it worked. I don't think I'll have any issues. And then I'm using my needle tool to add where like the hand grip would be. And once I get this all kind of just fine-tuned, I'm going to go ahead and bake the snowman and the shovel according to package instructions. And we'll let those cool down. And here is our snowman and our shovel. But the problem is, shovel doesn't fit. It's too tight. So we're going to go ahead and use the X-Acto style knife I think it's an Excel knife. I think that's a word processing program. Anyway, I'm going to use a little sharp knife to trim that out. So you can see here it fits nicely. But I'm going to go ahead and take that shovel out because I want to make him a scarf. And I thought it would be a lot of fun. And I add some, mixed media like I talked about in the beginning, where I would use something different. So I'm going to use some wool roving to do a needle felted scarf for our little snowman. So I'm just using my my needles for needle felting. This one's my multi-needle tool, and just going to go over that several times and then keep adding to it till I have the scarf the length I want it to be. And once I have this all done, I'm going to go ahead and add some stripes. So I just took some of this green wool roving and went around it, and then I'm just going to keep going over it. Make sure that stripe is on there good, trim it down, kind of seal it off in the back, and then I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of them. So you see I have all my stripes done. So the next thing I want to do is add little tassels on the end. So I'm just using my scissors to cut those, kind of spread those apart, kind of clean up any of the edges, and I'm going to wrap it around and tie it around the little snowman. So I think this looks really nice. I do like the mixed media with him. I like doing mixed media with a lot of pieces. I think it makes them more interesting. It's a lot of fun. The last thing I want to do is glue his shovel into place. So I'm just going to press that in. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry for a while, and we'll check back with our finished snowman. And here is the finished snowman using Premo Sculpey, wool roving, and the base from the NerdECrafter Not Another Crap kit. I'm really happy how this guy turned out. He's really fun, he's cute, and I just think he'll be a nice addition to my wife's collection. Bring him in a little bit closer. You can see how that white glitter clay in there has some sparkles, and it works really well. I didn't want to just use the white glitter because I think it has too much of the glitter in it. So by using the white translucent and white mixed in with it, kind of lessened how much glitter was in it, but it's still plenty. All right, so I thought it would be fun to bring in the other snowman I made for her. So I've got this one out of Warbla. It's kind of a weeble wobbly guy. I've got this one made completely out of clay. I believe this is the first one I did. I did do one completely out of wool roving, doing a needle felted snowman, and the one I did last year, which is the Warbla crystal art, I believe. This is kind of a translucent guy with polymer clay pieces and glass beads for the eyes. So I'm really happy with the group of snowmen I've made for her. And of course, I have to look at him with the other NerdECrafter Crap kit figurines, the Mummy and Donatello from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I do have videos of how I made both these guys up on my channel. All right, well, thank you so much for watching today's video. And remember, never stop creating. Bye. Hey, thanks for sticking around to the end of the video. Be sure to like, comment, and of course, subscribe if you haven't already done so. I post new videos whenever I can get them done. That's right, it's not a weekly thing. It could be a weekly thing, but it's not always a weekly thing. But, just sometimes I just get them done and I put them up, and all right, bye.